Welcome back to Super Recaps. Today I'll show you a film from 2008 titled Painted Skin. Watch out for spoilers ahead. The film's plot is set during the late time of the Chinese dynasty known as Qin. After robbing a village, a bunch of robbers is partying in the desert. The party's primary attraction is a stunning woman who they have kidnapped for their own amusement. The leader refuses to allow anyone to touch her because he wants to keep her for himself. He takes her into a room and pledges to give her anything she desires, including his heart. Before pulling his heart out, the woman seductively strokes his chest. It is revealed in an instant that her name is Mina, and she is an evil fox spirit that feeds on human hearts to keep her youth. Her charisma is commonly used to entice powerful or bad men. Their hearts have more chakra than the rest of them, which she uses to create an orb. It's a unique weapon she has at her disposal, capable of killing and even resurrecting humans. At the same time, a mighty warrior named General Wang and his army attacks the outlaws. They overcome the outlaws in a bloody battle that lasts several hours. Wang discovers Mina half-naked in a room and sympathizes with her. He provides her with a cloth to cover herself and carries her to a horse, unknowing of her actual nature. Mina is likewise welcomed by the troops, who transport her back to their town. Mina had never experienced compassion from a guy, which leads her to fall in love with Wang. However, when she arrives in town, she discovers that he has a wife named Pyre who adores him. She greets him warmly, relieved that he was not injured during the battle. She, too, is relieved to have a new companion, but this is not the case with Mina. She begins a new life and relocates to the general's mansion. During this time, she grows closer to Wang, but her developing friendship with Pyre causes her to be troubled. Someone breaks into the town's entrance at night a month later. When Wang goes out to find the intruder, he discovers him unconscious. Turns out that he was his long-lost friend and former General Yang. They know he is not a threat to the town and its residents, so they bring him back to the general's mansion and give him proper medical treatment. Pyre is taken aback when he sees Yang and is concerned about his safety. Wang and Yang were formerly a couple before she married, but he abandoned his people after a war and never returned. Pyre notices that Yang's arrival has been upsetting her husband late at night. She tells Wang that he is the only person she cares about. Things start to heat up, but when Wang returns his gaze to her, he notices Mina. He wakes up, surprised, and discovers it was all a dream. What he doesn't realize is that Mina is subtly helping him fall in love with her. In the meantime, she is in her room, refusing to eat dinner and dispatching a maid. Then a masculine spirit named Xiao Ei appears, bearing raw hearts for her to consume. He is Mina's buddy who has been assisting her by giving her a human heart every day so she may keep her beauty without being seen. But the town's regular deaths and bodies with missing hearts have spawned various stories. Wang has strengthened security and is doing everything to find the perpetrator. When Yang wakes up the next day, he discovers that Pyre has taken care of him. He apologizes for showing up unexpectedly and blames it on the drink he consumed the night before. Wang invites him to stay in town and assist them in their search for the murderer, but he declines. Later that night, Yang meets and befriends a mysterious woman in the town's restaurant. She is a demon hunter, and her name is Xia. Yang, who does not believe in demons, is unconcerned about her job. Then they're joined by Pyre, who believes Mina is a demon because the murders began the day she arrived in town. She also recalls a day when they were both working at a cosmetics store and Mina soothed an angry customer just by asking her to remain silent. It was almost as if she had the ability to hypnotize others. Pyre's suspicions were verified when she sliced Mina's palm with scissors accidentally, but it didn't bleed. She even took Mina to a shrine to be sure she wasn't possessed, but the sacred site had no effect on her. Pyre seeks Yang's assistance in solving the issue because she is afraid that if she mentions the presence of ghosts, her husband will laugh at her. Xia is fascinated by the reported demon and delighted to be working on such a thrilling case. In the next scene, Yang visits the cemetery, where the bodies of recent murder victims are kept. The killer's skill is evident in the precision of the cut in them. He also discovers Xia inside one of the coffins and requests that she exit. She shows them a magical stone that lights in the presence of a demon within a 10-mile radius. Xia has arrived in town with the stone but has yet to locate the spirit. Further inquiry reveals that all of the murders have occurred near the general's home. This makes them distrust Mina even more. Yang happens to run into Xiao Ei, who is going to attack Xia, late at night. They engage in a chase, but Xiao Ei is able to flee. Xia injures her leg and requires Yang's assistance. They have no idea what Xiao Ei's intentions were, but they have concluded that he was simply a thief. Xia shows Yang a monster stick that her grandfather gave her as a gift. No one has yet succeeded in removing the cap from the stick. Only a true demon hunter is thought to be capable of doing so. Yang tries but fails. The next day, Yang, Xia, and the commander who is assisting them in hunting Mina go to Wang and informs him that Mina is a demon. Wang is disappointed as he realizes that his wife is the one who spread the rumor. Despite the fact that he does not believe in demons and is adamantly opposed to accusing an innocent girl of murdering people, the others pressed him to investigate in order to confirm or deny the charges. Mina has wooed the warriors with her beauty and gentleness, thus the majority of the soldiers are on her side. To establish his point, Yang tries to chop her hand, but Wang intervenes. He declares the girl to be innocent, but his wife disagrees. She wants to examine her for a demon birthmark, which is almost certain to be present somewhere on her body. The ladies drag her into a room and strip her naked, but they are unable to locate the mark. After that, Wang asks everyone to go. He's particularly enraged with his wife for allowing jealousy to get the best of her. He demands an apology, but in exchange, Mina requests to be Wang's mistress. Wang and Pyre are both taken aback by the demand. Wang stands forward and proclaims that only one first lady can exist, and he already has one. He tells Mina that he cares about her but that he cannot betray his wife. Later that night, Wang has a dream about walking to Mina, who is bathing in a cave. He wakes up soaked in sweat after seeing himself making love to her. He then walks into her room to speak with her. Mina tries to remove her garment, but he intervenes. He believes she is too good to be a mistress and deserves a loving husband instead. When she asks him to marry her, he expresses his love for Pyre. Out of nowhere, Xiao Yi appears and attacks Wang because Xiao Yi has fallen in love with Mina, and is angry at Wang for making her cry. The guards are alerted and they rush to stop Xiao Yi, but he has run away before they're able to catch him. During this disturbance, Pyre notices Wang in Mina's room, so she confronts Wang and is ready to give him up if he is also in love with Mina. Wang informs her that is not interested in Mina, but Pyre can tell he is lying. On the other hand, when Xiao Yi visits Mina again, he confesses his love for her, but she is furious because he tried to kill the person she loves. He informs her that love between a human and a demon is not possible. This makes her even angrier, so she asks Xiao Yi to leave and never show his face again. Later, Pyre visits Mina's room and decides to make her Wang's mistress. Mina, on the other hand, is caught peeling off her human skin, much to Pyre's amazement. After 20 years, she proudly displays her true self, unafraid of being exposed. Pyre's terrified when she sees this horrifying sight. They are suddenly interrupted by a soldier, who Mina also kills. She makes an offer to Pyre when she asks her to stop. If Pyre walks away from Wang's life and never returns, she is willing to never harm another human in her life. Pyre hesitantly agrees to do what she says in order to save her people. She is then forced to ingest a poison that turns her skin and hair white and gives her an inhuman appearance. Outside, soldiers discover her and believe she is the demon who has been murdering people. When the entire town sees her new appearance, they start throwing stones at her. Pyre does not speak up for herself, even if she is about to lose her life for the sake of others. Yang saves her moments before she is killed and transports her to a nearby cave. He doesn't believe her when she claims to be a demon. Xia acknowledges that she understands her symptoms as a poison side effect. Wang arrives with the soldiers as they consider their next move, and is taken aback to see his wife in such a state. He is compelled to murder her for her crimes as a general, but as her husband, he is unable to do it. Pyre admits that she murdered everyone, but he vows that he loves her both as a human and a demon. She eventually impales herself on his sword and dies as a result. Wang is heartbroken. He clutches her body and sobs in pain. Mina tries to empathize with him by approaching him, but he ignores her and continues to sob while clutching Pyre. This is when Mina knows that no matter what she does, Wang would never truly love her. When Yang strikes Mina with his sword, the blade does no harm to her, proving that she is the true demon. But Mina doesn't seem to mind that her cover has been revealed at this point. Wang begs her to bring his wife back, and she asks what she will get in exchange. Since he does not want to live without Pyre, Wang pulls off the unthinkable. Mina bursts into sobs as she brings her power orb to life. It is the chakra formation she has accumulated over her life that has the power to bring the dead back to life. She tries to use it on Wang, but Xiao Yi stops her. He takes the orb since Mina will revert to her most primitive form if she utilizes it. He also doesn't want her to waste the orb, which is the result of thousands of years of hard work. Yang attacked Xiao Yi, and the two engaged in a furious struggle. This time, Yang is accompanied by Xia, a demon-killing expert. She takes out her grandfather's weapon and tries one more time to open it. She does the unexpected and removes the cap, much to her astonishment. Then she assaults Xiao Yi and kills him, but Yang succumbs to his injuries and dies shortly after. She sobs, pleading with him to return because the two had begun to like each other. Finally, Xia walks to Mina to put an end to her existence. She notices, however, that both Xiao Yi and her orb are now in front of her. Mina uses them to resurrect those who have died in the cave. When Wang wakes up, he notices Mina fading into nothingness and rushes to his wife, relieved to learn that she is still alive. The town returns to normalcy a few days later. Wang would like Yang to stay in town and assist the soldiers, but he has decided to join Xia on her demon hunt quest to the south. Mina appears in her white fox form in the final scene. Her memories are intact, but she lacks the ability to return to her former self. More videos like this can be found if you subscribe. To help the channel out, enable alerts and leave a like. Thanks for taking the time to watch.